etc. We have done tremendous consultations with all sections of the society, the governments, the non-governments, the civil society outreach groups and all that. Tremendous consultations took place, and we believe in consultations, as would be borne out by the fact that if you see our website, which is there all the time, that is uidai.gov.in, everything which has been done is almost real time on that website, and we get a lot of feedback and we act upon it. And 26th April 2010, we adopted a brand name Aadhaar, and which actually signifies the unique identification number. And draft National Identification Authority of India bill is prepared and is under circulation. It is also in public domain for comments. It's going to be frozen shortly. To commence the operations, we have the mandate to do it because the authority has been created by an executive order. We have CIDR infrastructure. This Mr. Srikanth, if we can explain. We have a robust communication and awareness strategy. A good number of people who are experts from their various areas of responsibility have combined together to prepare a good communication and awareness strategy. And we have experts working on civil society outreach groups to include people who generally get excluded in all the development-oriented programs, such as street children, homeless, the beggars, the vagabonds, and even the mentally challenged groups, etc. We are coming out with a very robust kind of program for that. And then we have an MOU with India Post, because the moment an enrollment agency picks up the data, it sends it to the CIDR through India Post, and the CIDR generates the numbers through their own methodology and sends the numbers to the India Post at Calcutta office, who will print those numbers in a particular prescribed format, in a letter format, and deliver it to the concerned resident, hopefully through biometric authentication. But since there are too many logistics and money issues involved in the biometric authentication, they will go for another kind of acknowledgement in the interim. The contact center for grievance handling, actually Intellinet Global Services, they are already in the field. And all the enrollment agencies have been empaneled to make it easier for the registrars. A rigorous process of empanelment took place, and a good number of empanelment agencies have been do figure in this list. Very interestingly, we thought some states may not find enrollment agencies, but it didn't happen. In states which are small, where we had suspicion that enrollment agencies may not evince interest, they had surprised us indeed. If you have a look at the enrollment agencies list in our website, you will certainly bear me out. Then training. Our training also, we have content development through CMC. We have empaneled training agencies. Like these training agencies are meant for training the enrollment agency staff and supervisory staff, the staff who are there to monitor, etc. There is testing and certifying agency. Then STQC under the DIT has been appointed as biometrics device certifying agency. And we have financial inclusion of the poor through UID-enabled bank accounts. A lot of inputs will be given on this subject tomorrow. Then in Andhra Pradesh, Food and Civil Supplies Department has been identified as registrar. Then KYR plus field. What we collect as demographic data is called as Know Your Resident, and KYR is what, in addition to this, and we have frozen that in Andhra Pradesh. In fact, I should say Sanjay Jaju and his a team of officers have done a wonderful job in freezing these fields, and they have also ready with the software. And they are working in close coordination with our technology team in Bangalore to start off the operations. And in Andhra Pradesh, we are going to handle about 3 crore enrollments in the phase 1. And of course, there is no cap on that. If we are good enough to do more than 3 crores in the given time, we can go in for a larger number of enrollments. And we will do enrollment on a saturation basis, means that it doesn't mean that we limit ourselves to the BPL families. No, we will cover everyone who is in that geographical area. And there is an IEC and training strategy which has been worked out. This is financial inclusion. Broadly, this way of, this graphic would explain what we mean by financial inclusion, but I do not want to talk much on that because my senior colleague, Mr. Ramsek Sharma, will talk a lot about that tomorrow. This is also the implementation challenges are there. I would like to tell, these are broadly the challenges of implementation operationally on the ground level. Alignment of registrars is a challenge. Collection of demographic and biometric data from entire population, that is 100% saturation coverage is a big challenge. And leveraging existing databases, which is much easier when existing database is preloaded onto the enrollment client and then only biometrics are taken before, after the demographics are authenticated. That is a challenge. Then quality of fingerprints in Indian conditions, untested scale of deduplication. No, I think any nation has even imagined this kind of deduplication, size. Then awareness of and importance of having unique identity, and training various levels of officials and functionaries involved in enrollment. Well, enrollment of marginalized sections of society, archiving the documents which we use for satisfying ourselves about the proof of identity and address. Then availability of devices also is a big issue. Then availability of skilled operators as per our standards. Then implementation introducer system is there. We'll talk a little more on that. Then periodic updation of data through permanent enrollment centers, online authentication infrastructure, etc. Now, interoperability is a major issue because every state has its own large number of data. More particularly for Food and Civil Supplies Department, they have for NREGA, they have for Social Security pensions, they have for scholarships. They have like this for many schemes. Their data structures are so very disparate that it is very difficult to integrate them within the state itself. We are of the feeling that if UID is adopted and the identification numbers of each key fields of each of these databases are put in one database, there could be interoperability. We can work towards interoperability to make them speak to each other and then make the whole database meaningful. Well, thank you, gentlemen. This is all I wanted to talk about is UID Authority of India and what is being done so far and what has been done in regional office. If you have any questions, I can answer right now, and then we can move to our other colleagues here. Thank you. Yes.
Whose responsibility is to integrate the identities across different subject databases with UID?
The integration part of it is the responsibility as of now the state governments. For instance, if the government of Andhra Pradesh or the government one department collects these other databases. Like with there is a ration card number, there is an NREGS number, there is passport number, there is driving license number. All of them are put together against one generic database, then integrate and take this.
Yep. Along with UID, are you putting those other IDs also?
No, our responsibility is not that. UID believes in collecting very limited data. Our mandate and charter is only to provide a unique identification to every willing and voluntary resident of India.
Right. Beyond that, who is taking responsibilities? Because it may be a voluntary activity, because multiple agencies, central and state, are all involved. How will integrate mapping between their identity to UID? No, UID will help the registrars. One of our mandates, or let's say one of the important responsibilities, is to assist the registrars who are state governments in a sense, a large number of the state governments. We help them being UID compliant and to make sure that their databases talk to each other and UID number significance is enhanced. Our role is basically, it revolves around UID number while at the same time taking care of the registrar's needs, and more particularly the needs of the poor and underprivileged segments of the society.
This is recording. I am Subramanian, Chairman ACM, African Center for Financial Inclusion. I would like to ask you from this angle that you are talking about the reconciliation updation of changes which are taking place.
Yes.
That is one critical area. First in, first out, perhaps will have to be updated. It is a manual intervention. So that is one area. And subsequently some changes may not have been affected at all. That can create a complication later. Perhaps this is, you may have to build in adequate safeguards. For example, in place like West Bengal and all that, a single name is assigned to 100%. I have witnessed as an ex-Reserve Bank officer when I visited Bengal, northeastern areas, and then hundreds of persons had similar names, and bank records were having problems. So how will you handle it?
No, in fact, the reason for Biometric authentication is exactly the same. There may be about 100 people having the same name. It could be VS Bhaskar, my name, hundreds of names. But biometrics, suppose I capture my biometrics and